All right. Yeah, man, I couldn't wait for this day, man. I've been looking forward to this. So today we're going to continue our series on how to start a business, and I'm just so happy we got my homeboy and chef extraordinaire, Chef Irvin Williams Jr. with a soon-to-be New York Times best-selling book, Chef's Journey. And if you haven't had a chance to pick up this book, y'all need to get this book. This brother put his heart and soul into it. It's fantastic recipes, but besides the recipes, the stories, the brother was very vulnerable with these stories, and unfortunately for we black men, it's not a story that I can say is unfamiliar. But I appreciate you for putting it out there. So we're gonna just go on and get started, man. So this is Knovl's How to Start a Business series, and my brother Chef Irvin was good enough to say, "Hey, cool, we'll do an interview." And the idea is once we finish, we'll not only have a product for the Knovl YouTube channel, but we'll have some footage so that when my brother starts his YouTube channel, he'll be up and running. So, all right,
Yes, sir.
without any yeah, man, without any further ado, why don't you just start? Just I know you, but the folks don't know you. Just tell me just a little bit about yourself. I don't know if you want to talk about 35, about New Orleans, about the Navy, about your grandparent, however you want to do it, man. Just tell us about yourself.
Okay. All right. Well, I hail from that mighty seven ward, New Orleans, and I've literally been in this game now for 40 years now. Since I was 14.
Whoa.
Yeah, since I was 14. Like what people didn't know is when I was at 35 and we had the restaurant hotel motel program, I joined that program, and I had been playing around with food and stuff before that. But when I did Miss Creech's class at the Sheridan, she opened my eyes to the whole game.
Wow.
And when she did that, of course, when you're in a hotel restaurant program, you learn every aspect of how to run a hotel, from the GM all the way down to the janitor, right?
Yeah.
Got to the kitchen, uh, there was a chef there, there was a pastry chef who literally saw something in me. I mean, he knew I was a hustler. He could tell. It was, there was things that I did and the way I talked and walked that he was familiar with. So he was like, okay, man, you ain't got to do that. You got a skill set. I can see it in you. I'm gonna test you on a few things. So he gave me stuff to do, like I'm of course to peel potatoes, to cut the onions, make salads and stuff like that. But it wasn't just. I mean, that sounds simple, but he wasn't worried about can I make the stuff. He was checking to see my speed, and my speed was ridiculous. So in my mind, I was doing stuff to get up out of there. In his mind, he was like, how did he do that fast?
Yeah.
Right. And I kept doing it, doing it, doing it. To one day, um, Memorial had something on a yacht and he was going to do it. And he asked me to go with him. So when I went, I'm sitting there like I'm looking at what he doing. I'm like, man, I can do that's easy. I'm saying all this in my head. Then at the end, he was like, they tipped me, they tipped him, but then he showed me his check, and I was like, you made that in I think it was there 2 hours. I said that was 2 hours worth of work. I said, man, I do this all the time. So all he had, I everything in life calculates to math. Everything, no matter what you do, whatever business you in, math has something to do with it, and I'm great in math. Uh, uh,
Who was
what's
your
the
teacher? Shout out your teacher at 35.
uh, uh, oh man, oh.
Carter, the queer. Who'd you have?
Or no, I had the queer first. I had the queer first. Uh, G. Give it a G. Oh man. The
G.
queer.
Gotro comes to mind, but he was a vice principal when you say G.
No, not
Miss,
G, not the vice principal, but that was my guy too. He kept me out of a lot of trouble, boy. Boy, Khalid used to have me in that office. I was in that office. I think I lived in the office more than I was in class.
yeah, I don't know anything about that office.
Oh, sir, boy. I don't. Sometimes I wonder how I graduated. Boy,
Right.
his son went there too. He was in our class.
Doc, you talking about Doc? Doc Williams?
Yeah.
You
No,
talking
not
about my
Doc.
friend?
Oh, but Doc was a mentor of me too, though. No,
Yeah.
this dude. I gotta know his name. Begins with a G. Good.
Oh, was it Goodley?
Was it Mr. Goodley? It had to be Mr. Goodley. He taught algebra.
Yeah.
Taught
I
my
never
dad,
had him, but he was a cool cat. Cool cat.
but he taught my daddy too. He didn't just teach me. He was
Yeah.
my dad's teacher when he first became a teacher. He taught my dad and my mom, right? So he
Right.
knew that I had it in me,
Yeah,
right?
he's
So
some great brothers. We didn't mention Mr. DeQueer, Dr. Williams,
oh,
Mr. Goodley. I mean, this is in a dearth of manhood today. Boy, we were
man,
blessed.
yeah, that's men's men right there.
Yeah, we had some serious men. We had some serious women too.
Oh
Shout
yeah,
out to Miss Carter, Miss Harrison,
yeah.
Miss Chapital. I mean, it was just some
I mean,
serious teaching
we had
going
some
on.
great teachers, and
Yeah.
and the crazy part is, even what's my girl? She taught English.
I had Miss Chapital.
I had Miss Chapel, but I also had what's her name?
Miss
Well, she
Meredith.
who?
There was a
Who?
Miss Meredith, I remember.
No, I had Miss Meredith too. I had Miss. She she always flirted with the football players. You know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
With the players. Oh, what is her name, man?
I'm looking right at her too.
Me too. I'm looking right at. Anyway,
Yeah, she was kind of she was well endowed up top, let's say.
yes, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
Hey, man, look, she made me write poems, right? And she always said, "Man, you got vocabulary.
Right.
You good. You just got to get out the street." And
Yeah.
the bad part is, what people don't know about New Orleans, because it's a destination city. Everybody from around the country, they only see Bourbon Street.
Right.
My
Right. And
part,
they might see the Garden District. They might take a streetcar and see the Garden District. Right.
yeah. But what they don't see is what's behind all that, right? And in the 80s, the dope game ran the city. Period. There's no commas. It's a straight period, right? And I don't just mean black. I mean white, black, Asian. You pick it, it was there, right? So
Right.
you had no choice but to gravitate that way. Yeah, you had a choice, but if you was born dead in the dead center of it, the I don't even think the dope game is what attracted me. The business mind of the people
So
who
that's
ran.
interesting. Yeah, who ran the dope game. And really, when you say the dope game, let's be clear, we talking about crack.
Yeah, straight crack.
Yeah,
Well,
we
like,
talking about crack circa 85, 86 and on.
yeah,
It was it changed it changed everything in the city.
say, man, I walk. Remember Mr. Willis? My
Yes.
house was 1 block from Mr. Willis. I could walk from my house to Mr. Willis and back and make $1,000. Okay. Now imagine doing that every day. That's five
Right.
thousand dollars a day, right? That's
Yeah.
$30,000 a month.
Right.
Okay. By the time I hit the end of the year, I done surpassed parents'
Yeah.
salary.
Hell, let's be for real. Irv, you surpassed parents at the end of the month in New Orleans.
At the end of the month, yeah.
I mean,
Exactly.
30 grand. We can look it up, and maybe I'll put it when we cut the video. Maybe I'll edit it and put it in there. But the median salary in New Orleans today, it might be 40.
Yeah.
So then I'm sure it was 30 or less.
And the crazy part is, me and the cats I grew up with, small group, we couldn't understand how we was making this much money, but we just didn't really talk about it. Everybody was pretty smart. We used it in different variations.
Yeah.
But with me, I wasn't attracted to just the money. The first time I made a stack of money, my mind went to, okay, like everybody else, put in a shoebox under the bed. About 5 minutes later, I said, I'm not putting a shoebox under the bed. I go get me a bank account.
Parlay it. Yeah.
When I went to get the bank account, I was listening to people, and the lady was telling me about different annuities and stuff like that. I said, okay. So now, at that time, there was no checks and balances on the money.
All right. Yeah.
So you could do an IRA. You
didn't have to wash it. You didn't have to wash the money. Like, yeah. Yeah.
And I'm a teenager. They not understanding that. Once I read how the deposits work, and you could only deposit $10,000 before you had to. Oh, you tell me the law? I'm with the 35. I can memorize anything. All right.
Right.
Once you told me that, I knew to deposit $5,000 at a while. You know what I'm saying? No more than a certain amount a month and blah. It was easy. So once I learned that, I started learning.
You like 16, 17, 16, 17-ish? Yeah.
Actually 15, 16. Yeah. And it was I was asking the big boys questions that intrigued them that a young boy was asking. I didn't ask where to go get a polo. I knew where to get a polo from. I don't need to know where you get what
right.
Ben's from. I know where the call out is. I
don't
know, well, what you do to retire.
Right.
What you do to make your money legal. And when they started telling me about the ballrooms, they started telling me about the detail shops and stuff like that. My mind went straight to, oh, I could just be a chef. Because if my man made this amount of money in a check,
right,
easy to hide stuff.
So tell me about your motivation. So I know you got to get into, talking about your father, if you care to talk about that, and your mother. So we know that there's positive motivation, and sometimes there's, quite frankly, negative. Like, I'm not gonna do it like that. So how did Irv Sr. impact your life? You talked about it in the book. I just want you to kind of express it here.
My dad was a fiber optics engineer, right? So, in life as an adult, you learn stuff about your parents, and you figure things out by your experiences. And all the stuff that I learned as a teenager was negated by the time I got to be an adult, because life started teaching me lessons to where I would go back to my mom and say, hey, this story wasn't right. Something ain't right about this. You need to tell me the truth about this. And my dad always used to tell me, take care of your mom and never sweat the small stuff. Don't let nobody bother you, right? So he constantly said that over and over and over again. Then he used to tell me, your only job is school. Don't worry about nothing else.
Yeah.
But I was too ambitious. I couldn't just do that. I watched my dad work, and he was smart about what he did. I watched him buy a building when I was 10. So everything I saw, I literally tried to mimic in my own way.
Yeah.
Now, of course, all the cats, everybody partied. So, I came from people that we owned a ballroom, and my grandfather and them, they were a bunch of offshoremen. So I met dudes with money. All them cats had money.
A lot of cash flow. Yeah.
So, but when I would go in the ballrooms, they would also tell me the good and the bad stories. I would hear everything. So it kind of shaped me. The whole aspect shaped me into how to run a business. I watched
Yeah.
how cash businesses ran. I watched how you can diversify things. And at a certain point, I'm gonna say by the time I was 19, I was like, one, I can't do this no more. Two,
Yeah.
I don't want my mama. I'm tired of making my mama upset because she's scared that somebody gonna
Yeah.
send my back to her. And come on.
It could happen. It happened. It has happened.
Oh yeah, there was. I seen some things, man. I put it
Yeah.
like this. I seen some things that a child should never seen. Um, and I never brought it home with the trauma of telling my mama what I've seen. Right.
Right.
But you could tell when things upset me and when I was shaky about stuff. But at the time when I was hit 19, I got popped twice back to back.
Mm-hmm.
Both times, I thank God for the corrupt police department of Knovl, because they stole the dope both times.
So
So
no
after
evidence.
that time, I said it won't be a third.
Yeah.
I walked out of Tulane and Broad. Across the street was the recruiter. I walked right in there. I walked into all four of them and asked each one of them, "What y'all do?" I just happened to go into the Navy, and they was playing spades.
So for those who don't know, Tulane and Broad, that is Orleans Parish Courthouse, and behind it is Orleans Parish lockup. So that's what my brother's talking about. It was, and don't forget, this is during the era of Biden and Clinton's, three strikes you out. So
Mm-hmm.
you could have been biting off the long haul if you kept playing
Oh,
around.
oh yeah, I was coming straight out of Tent City because the jails was too tight, so we was
Hmm.
all crammed up in Tent City. So when they let me out of that, and I that this time, like we had then graduated, right? So we had then graduated, and that's end of that summer is when I got locked up. I got let out uh the 2nd of December. I went into that 2nd of December. I went into the recruiter's office, took the test, knocked the test out, went to MEPS that same week, did all my physical and all that stuff, got the clearance the end of that week. December 14th is when I rolled in.
Gotcha. And you dedicate the book now. You dedicated the book to your mother, your grandmother, your great grandmother.
Yep.
How did they inform your cooking? How did they inform your life?
So as a child, I always played in the kitchen, played with my toys in the kitchen on the floor, right? So as doing that, I heard and soaked up a lot of stuff. So everybody learns differently. I'm the type of person that I have to be doing four things at one time. And doing four things at one time, I can absorb every single thing that's around me.
Yeah.
And I absorbed how quiche was made, how red snapper was made, gumbo was made, etouffee was made, everything
Goodness.
true Creole Southern way of
That's
how
some
things.
serious cooking.
Yeah.
I mean, we ain't just talking, and look, I love a good po' boy, but we ain't just talking sandwiches and po' boys.
Nah, we ate it like every day. You had to be in the house at 3 o'clock every day. All right. We talking about my grandfather who passed before I was alive, but my uncles that came over, they all act alike. So you're talking about the man sat at the head of the table. At the end of the meal, a bottle of brandy or whiskey would come out and a cigar. So
Yeah, you're right.
all right,
Yeah, you're right.
that was the norm. All right. Um,
And
we
so
talk.
so what you're talking about is, I mean, and I love it because it's my home, and I love New Orleans. I love. Let me say it like this: I love the New Orleans that we grew up in. The New
Yeah,
Orleans now leaves a lot to be desired. Not the people. The people are beautiful. The people are, as always, are beautiful, but it's just so much corruption in the government, and my people just not being treated well. So that makes me not love her as much as I used to.
Yeah.
Tell me about, so the name of the series that we're doing, the teaching series is how to start a scalable business. So tell me about how did that, so you knew you wanted to be a chef, you knew you wanted to earn an income from being a chef, but how did that kind of start?
No, I didn't know yet. So
all right.
The Nola Catering was actually, the first name of it was actually Intimately Yours, because when the pastry chef showed me how to be a private chef, I hadn't even put the title chef on. I just was a private cook.
Gotcha.
So I was using that to mask how I was really getting my money. But I enjoyed it. I enjoyed it way more than hitting the streets.
Gotcha.
It means to an end, right? So once I went in the Navy, I actually went in as a dental tech.
Yeah, right? I saw that. I saw that.
All right. So I mean, I shifted all the way. I was like, I'm thinking, a doctor, a dentist. These guys are medical people. You make good money. So went in. Now again, I went from doing dirt to the straight and narrow, right?
All right.
Narrow, I did everything you told me to do. At the end of class, whoever had the highest score got the next rank, which would make me a petty officer, right? Will make me on. I'm starting to catapult up to become. My goal was to become a chief, right?
And that's pretty fast for an enlisted man.
Oh yeah. So all I had to do was get the highest marks. Again, college prep school. I know how to work. I know how to study.
Yeah.
Right. I even called my mama at times at home and had her tutor me over the phone to make sure I was doing things right.
Yes, indeed.
I should be putting on that rank. They gave it to this dude from Italy. What I was told was this was a political thing for whatever, some BS about politics.
Yeah.
I heard was blah, 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 blah.
Right.
So it reverted me back to my natural habitat. I broke dude's jaw.
Yeah.
Now,
you broke your CO's jaw or the Italian dude?
If I broke the CO's jaw, I went straight to, no, I broke the dude from Italy. Yeah. So the CO told me, "Oh, you want to be a pirate? We're gonna show you how to be a pirate."
That's funny.
So he sent me to the fleet. When he sent me to the fleet, you do this thing called mess cranking, where you do 90 days working in the kitchen, sweeping, mopping, blah, 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 right?
Yeah.
I went to the kitchen. I got kicked out of school, sent me to the fleet. They dropped me in the middle of the Kuwaiti War.
Oh, man.
On the ship, on the USS Horn. And I got there. I was a boatswain's mate. That's the people who paint and chip they paint the boat. They preserve the boat.
Yeah.
So, but before I could do anything, they said, "Oh, we need people in the kitchen." Oh, yeah, this one of those troublemakers. Send it to the kitchen. Send me to the kitchen. Now, there was this dude named Big Draws, Tanner. I remember his name, Tanner.
wait a minute. What was his name?
Big Draws about 6'4", about 320, right? And he they're cooking, and they arguing about this recipe, which was a French onion soup. So in the middle of them arguing, I spit the recipe out while I was mopping the floor.
Man.
And you young squid, you don't know what you're talking about, blah, 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 blah. I said, man, ain't nothing y'all cooking here. I come from where they really cook at. So big argument started. They said, well, if you could do it, do it. So I went and did it. Dude tasted the soup, left out the kitchen. Next thing I know, I got my chief in there, and I got the MS chief in there, the cook's chief in there. And they said, hey, You ever thought about being a cook? And I played stupid. I said, nah, what you gotta do? He said, we'll guide you. Don't worry about that. Whole time. I'm already peeping game. Now I went back to my street element again. I'm like, all right, I gotta navigate this water. Within 6 months, the first class in them were like, this dude ain't a cook. This dude cooks restaurant quality food. The captain came to me, brought me up to become the captain's cook. Within a year, they sent me back to school.
Wow.
Back to school. Within 3 months, I had my rank again.
Wow. That's beautiful.
Then they sent me to another ship. Within another 6 months, I had the next rank. So then they started sending me to a whole bunch of schools. I'm talking about all the stuff you could think about, every private dining, high end. They were training me to go to the White House. That's what they were
Right.
doing.
Wow.
Right. In the process of all that, we did one event on the ship that was a catering event. And that's when Knovl Catering was born. I went berserk.
What was
They
on the menu,
invited,
chef?
huh?
What was on the menu that day?
Man, I cooked. Man, I did gumbo, red beans and rice, etouffee. What I did? I did one of my signature dishes I do right now, smoked collards. Right, except right now I use turkey, but then I was using ham hocks. Oh, bro, I did so much soul food. And the crazy part is for 300 people, I kicked everybody out the kitchen and I did it myself.
That's a
Alone.
lot of gumbo.
But we had steam jacketed kettles, so we had 50
Okay.
pots. So
Nice.
me, it went back to the speed, the technique, and all this stuff that I hadn't even learned yet, but I already knew how to do it. So once the idea was formed, right?
Yeah.
That's when the faith comes in.
Yeah.
That's when you got to be like, okay, if I can actually do this, how do I do it? I went to asking every question I could think of to everybody. I was in the human resources office. I was in disbursement office. I was asking everything from accounting to how to hire, fire. I was at everything, right? And then, while all this going on, remember, I done got married. I done had one daughter. I'm starting up on the second daughter, and I'm realizing the balance is off because I'm spending so much time not just working
Yeah.
but traveling, that when I hit the 10 years, I said I can't do it no more. The captain begged me to stay in. They said, we'll do whatever you need to be done because one, I knew how to cook for diabetics, and he was a diabetic.
Wow.
That was one thing, but I couldn't do it. I had to bet on me.
Yeah.
So in 99, I just bet on myself and I got out. And when I got out, I literally I got shaky because if anybody that owns a business will tell you that did doubt themselves, they lying. I
The
doubted
line.
myself once, and I went to
And
work at Turo.
got you.
Turo Hospital in the kitchen. The chef there made a mistake and challenged me and talked crazy to me once. He saw what kind of car I drove, and he said, well, if you don't come to work like you're supposed to come to work, how you gonna afford that car outside? When he said that, I looked at him. I had already got one paycheck. I said, nigga, I caught been paid for. I took my jacket off and I walked out. And I just went for broke. I cooked, I did plates. I cooked anything for anybody, anywhere, anytime. I was undercutting myself. I didn't care. I just needed my name out there.
Right. Right.
Uh, my ex-wife, she's my ex-wife, she got sick.
Oh
She
man.
North Carolina. I packed up the family, sold the house. We moved back. We moved to North Carolina. And that's when I realized, why be a big fish in the ocean when I can be a big fish in a small lake?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I slapped the crap out of North Carolina. I just started to, I mean, cook. My game plan, because you have to make a game. I was up nights just writing out game plans. My
Yep.
first game plan was I introduced myself to every magazine throughout North Carolina.
Wow.
Took pictures of my food, introduced myself, and put it out. Some publications I had to pay for. Some publications did it because they were intrigued about me. But
Story. Yeah.
when they hit the stands, bro, I had cats that was from New Orleans. They was like, "Oh, bro, I didn't know you was from that." They was calling.
Right.
So all I had to do was do what I do.
Yeah. I
I had
mean,
already set myself up. Like I said,
yeah.
I learned the game from within. Because as an entrepreneur, you are everything. You are accounting, your marketing,
Payroll.
human repair, you everything.
Right. Right. How did you
So,
come up with the name Nola Catering?
well, intimately
I mean, I
yours.
know what Nola means, but how did you,
Well, I mean, because I'm from New Orleans, and everybody used to constantly say, "Oh yeah, that's that cat from New Orleans. That's that cat from New Orleans." Everybody kept saying that.
right.
So why not say Nola?
Yeah, I like it. I like it. I mean, I like the simplicity of it. It says exactly what it is, and it's 2 syllables. I coach folks to say, I say your business name should be 1 or 2 syllables.
Yeah, yeah.
It should be webbable. It should be given to a web address.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
yeah,
but see, but the crazy part is because I named it Nola, and everyone around the city and the triad started saying my name, they then never said my actual real name. So right now, there's tons of people throughout the triad, they have no clue what my real name is.
but they know your business name.
Yeah, they call me Chef Nola.
Yeah, I mean
But I
that.
mean,
I
it
mean
speaks for
that's.
itself.
But think about it. I mean, that's ultimate branding. I mean, that's you remember. You look. I know you. I know you remember. But there was a time in New Orleans where we didn't say we're going. We didn't say we're going to the grocery store. Well, we always say make groceries anyway. But even besides that, we would say we're going to Swagman's.
We're going to Swagman's. Yeah, yeah,
Like,
we're going.
it,
That's it. You didn't even know. You didn't even know to say grocery.
yeah,
You said going to Swagman's.
just
That's
going
it.
to Swagman's. So it was just such a the brand was so ubiquitous in the city that's what we said. You're going to Swagman's. And so, I mean, that's what you want out of branding anyway, for them to just think, look, I need a chef, Nola.
It tongues so fast. But the other great part is I also tell business owners when I bump into people and what has made me last this long, I cannot take all the knowledge I have with me. You want it, come and get it.
Yeah,
So young business owners, people in other businesses come to me and ask me questions. How do I sustain in 2020? How did I make it through COVID?
right.
Uh, we can never tell that you've had a downside. Well, I don't. I learned to adapt and pivot on the drop of a dime.
So
And I myself
talk
in
about one of the pivots. Like I remember, I know you were doing a food truck at one time, and then you pivoted away from that. So talk about the decision making that was around that.
okay, so I built the food truck from scratch. Of course, I've always been a creative. You're always going to be a creative. So I never just wanted to go buy a food truck. I wanted to know how to build the food truck.
Yep.
So I built it. When I say from scratch, I hired each thing. I hired a plumber to plumb it, electrician to put the electricity in it,
Yep.
carpenter to do the flooring and stuff like that. So everything they did, I learned how it worked. Then I learned that everybody wanted to do what I was doing. So I sold it for triple the price. All right. Now,
Yep.
COVID hit and I was sitting on the food truck. The only reason I was sitting on it because COVID was one of the best things that could have ever happened business-wise to me. All I had to do was sit in my kitchen. I could do 5 events and sell everybody the same menu. Have you pick it up? Literally, we would put it in boxes or bags, tape it up.
Yeah.
You picked it up outside of the kitchen, right? Or we would drop it off on your porch.
Nice.
So we were doing weddings. So a wedding, usually I do weddings at between, on the low end, $6,000.
Right.
High end, $20,000-$30,000, right?
Depending on the amount of people, right? And what they want, I guess. Yeah.
Depending on the amount of people and the menu. What I did, I with a generic menu, even price. I struck deal with vendors, and I was charging people $5,000 for 150 people, delivered to you, that you could have your reception however you wanted it. What you do with it, I don't care. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
Right.
But we had tiers. Yeah, I mean, you could do 50, 75, 100, 150 people, right?
Yeah.
It was so easy to, if 4 brides were having 4 weddings in their backyards on May 3rd, that I could do all 4 weddings because I'm gonna sell you all the same menu. I'm gonna put it in pans. You have all the racks, and we were ordering stuff like we was getting drop ships nonstop. So we had all the stuff to do it.
Right. Right.
So at the day, we was killing the game. So when we came out of COVID, we were set.
Yeah.
I never PPP loan, none of that, and my guys never missed a paycheck.
Yeah, a lot of people was hurting because they, you had to, it's a loan, you had to pay it back. So,
I look back to my roots of being a dope boy. We were a cash business.
Right.
So if I could operate as a cash business, but also acquire business credit, I use the credit for the things you need: trucks, equipment, a building. Use the cash to buy your supplies.
For the day to day. Yeah.
Day.
Yeah.
And in your mind, you think about the flip game. If a party costs, if I can do a party for $150, but charge somebody $500, easy flip.
That's right.
Take your 150, put it back in the pot, take the rest, put that back into the business, and keep it going every day. Keep doing it over.
Yeah. So yeah.
And don't look up. Head down, don't look up.
So tell me about, all right, so tell me about your business structure. Are you set up as a sole proprietorship, LLC? Okay. Yep. And what was one of the reasons why you wanted to be LLC? What kind of protections were you looking for?
I want to separate between my personal life and my business life. I actually have 2 LLCs. One is Knovl Catering, and the other one I trademarked my name, Chef Irvin Williams.
Mm-hmm.
So when you want me to come to your house and cook, Chef Irvin Williams can make the money. When you want to do a big event, Knovl Catering can.
Got it.
So Chef Irvin Williams can have his own paycheck. Knovl Catering money can go to Knovl Catering.
That's right.
All right. So now, when you see, and I learned this from watching big boys, and I mean big boys with restaurants. I would ask cats who owned restaurants, who was driving 550 Benzes, Maybachs, and stuff like that. I'm like, man, what's the payment on something like that? Like, I'm young in the game asking these questions, right? And one dude told me, I don't know, business own this. I don't own it. I just drive it.
Right.
He told me that. I was like, oh, okay.
It could be done. Yeah. For one thing, it could be done. If he's doing it, it could be done. Yeah.
Yeah. And then I asked another cat. I'm gonna tell you, this happened probably about I'm gonna say 2018. I asked a cat about, like, I was driving a lot. I drove sports cars. I love sports cars. I was driving a lot of sports cars.
You still like sports cars?
Huh?
You still like them?
Oh no, no, I'm about to tell you why. This will change my mind. It's supposed
Yeah, it's hard to get out of them now for me. But anyway, go ahead.
not no. The only one I get in, I have to say, on the high end, I'll drive an Aston Martin. On the low end, I'll drive the Stingray.
The
Vet.
vet. Yep.
That's it.
It's beautiful. That's a beautiful vehicle.
Oh yes, sir. Yes, sir. And
Yeah.
I want to dang. Matte black, no tail, just the way it is, just like that.
Man, it is sweet.
I'm a DC Marvel fan. It looked like the Batmobile. That's the only reason.
It does. And that vet, homeboy, that vet has its own engine. Like the Corvette has a Corvette engine now.
Yeah.
It's not a GM. It's not a Chevy. It's a Corvette engine.
I was in 2018. I had a partner that he constantly always had Tahoes, Escalades and stuff like that. I'm like, bruh. And I was teasing him. I'm like, boy, I will blow the socks off that thing with my car. He was like, I don't care what you do, because this ain't my car. I'm like, what you mean it ain't your car? He said, I don't own this. And then he named his business. He said, they own it. I said, but that's your business. He said, I know. And he left it at that. I could read all in the lines. Then I asked him, who owned your house? He said, I'm homeless. He said, so and he named his business again. They own my house. I said, I'm done.
That's it.
All I need is the accountant. Tell me the accountant, and I'm good. He gave me
and it's legal. I mean, it's certainly legal, and it's tax. It's how you tax shelter your assets.
And he taught me how to structure my business to where Knovl Catering owns a lot of stuff. And like now I own my house. But before, my houses before, Knovl Catering owned it. Right? So that I could be pretty free.
Right.
And it as you build up and up and up, then you start buying stuff for yourself.
Fantastic. That's right.
Look, you know me. I was a Polo Ralph Lauren wearing son of from the Gucci down to the socks.
Right.
And when you become a business owner, you look at real estate and investment.
Because then net worth becomes more important than how much cash you wearing.
Man, I ain't buying more houses.
Right.
No. But this the crazy part. You hear what I'm not buying Ralph no more houses, but Ralph bought me one.
There you
Ralph
go.
hired me to do a bunch of events.
Nice.
So it looked like it went full circle for me.
But that's the way, that's the thinking. Just what you said. Instead of you buying Ralph another house, car, whatever, how about Ralph buy you?
Yeah.
Or, said differently, like what you're wearing now. You got Chef Irvin Williams Jr. on your shirt. You're not wearing, whatever.
No. And this is what you see me in all the time. When people see me, I'm in two things. I'm either in a chef jacket, or I'm in a Knovl Catering polo. I'm in a Knovl Catering dry fit shirt, or I'm in a sweatsuit. And a sweatsuit means I'm going somewhere else.
Yeah. And that's important. That's important so that whenever people see you, okay, he's a chef. He's a caterer. He's a chef. It's constantly.
Yeah, it's subliminal marketing, and it also shows people that I'm true to my game.
Yeah.
A lot of my followers, a lot of people who know of me, who might never have seen me, they've seen me pop up. I popped up at a restaurant in a chef jacket, walking in a restaurant to sit down with my daughters to eat a meal. I came from another event, sat down with them. It's confusing people. They are straight up confused. I said, we gotta eat. We gotta eat too.
Right. That's like when your barber's got to get his hair cut somewhere.
Yeah.
So tell me about your lowest moment as an entrepreneur when maybe couldn't make payroll. I mean, I don't know. We all go through. What was one of those times? I mean, you might have stayed up at night. You might have cried. I don't know.
All right. So it was here. Just got here. Kicked off the business hard. Just bought a house.
Man.
And a pastor called me. Big event, church event. Big congregation. $10,000 gig. Had the date, everything. I was a little naive. I was trusting. Dude told me what he wanted, how he wanted, everything. Signed the contract. We did everything. I'm calling for the deposit. He gives me this runaround. I'm not paying attention. I'm just the pastor. I'm not thinking that this man is going to do nothing shady. So it's getting close to the date. I can't wait. I got to order the food. So I order all the food. I order all the equipment because I'm building my business. So I'm ordering the equipment. I'm spending money. I spent $5,000. I go to pick the check up. The church don't exist. Do you understand? I had to pay mortgage, insurance, car note, utilities, payroll, all that.
Yeah.
And I'm 5,000 in the hole. Now, I got a ton of food, a kitchen I have rented. When I say, I don't think I slept for 2-3 days.
See there?
It wasn't from disappointment. It was from anger.
Yep.
I thank God for one of our people from New Orleans who's a lawyer who, for whatever reason, found out I was hunting the pastor down. Word on the street knew I'm looking for you. I don't know when I told somebody something. That's how mad blind I was. I must have said something to somebody who it got back to other people, who it got back to that pastor, who found a guy who knew of me to contact me. This lawyer contacted me and told me, Chef, don't do nothing that's gonna get you in trouble. I will figure a way for you to get your money back. Because dude don't have it. Now, I went from blind mad back to hustle man again. I walked into the kitchen. Well, I tell you, I went took a shower, a long shower, calmed myself down. I then went to the kitchen. I opened up the refrigerator. I opened up the freezer. I assessed everything I was going to do for him, and I twisted it into meal prep. And I started making box lunches, anything. I was selling stuff like I was slick back on the block and made money back plus a profit. But again, I had to think on the fly. And anger consumed me because it was consuming me.
Yeah. And I'm so glad you talked about that because that's the part that's why I started the YouTube channel. Or I'm in chambers and I'm in no people don't tell those stories enough. This is hard. Anybody that wants to own their own business, be an entrepreneur, I mean the numbers are stacked against us. I mean, I think it's something like 70% of businesses fail within the first 5 years.
I'm in the 1%. I'm in the 1% that has made it 40 years. 1%. I have been driving. I'll tell you another one. I was driving back home from an event and the transmission fell out the truck.
Oh, man.
About click, boom, boom. I pulled to the side of the road. I'm in tears because that's the only truck I got.
See there?
I had to think
See there?
how. I had to take everything I had, and now this ADD kicks in. I don't go buy one truck. Damn it, I bought two. If one gonna break down, I'm gonna have a second one to go. And
Right.
I went straight to the Mexicans. I said, I need two vans. I need two vans. This is what I got. And the essays, they figured it out and they
They
got me.
hooked you up. And that's, these are stories that we're going to be telling on here because I call them rainbows and unicorns. You go to some of these, you go to some of these meetings. You got your affiliations too. I have my affiliations in construction. And you go to these meetings and everybody, if you just believe,
Pull you here. Ain't got no straps on them boots. You just got boots on.
Right, right. Yeah, talking about pull yourself up by your boot. I just bootstrap this business. Then you find out, I remember, a cat that in the construction field like me. Oh, nobody gave me nothing. Then you find out his daddy gave him the whole business, stock and barrels, of multi-million-dollar business.
Exactly. And I'm gonna tell you like this: when it comes down to Knovl Catering, everybody who has watched since social media has started, and I have come on the scene, I don't have to tell people the stories; they've seen them.
That's right.
People have seen the Knovl Catering van broke down on the side of the road and text me and say, "Chef, are you all right?" I had to be humble and say, "Yes, I am. I done ran out of gas."
Exactly.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? I had,
Yeah.
but seen the struggle. I am not at this age, at 54 years old. People see this end result. They see what I drive. They see where I live. They see everything that surrounds me, and the younger people admire it for the wrong reasons. Ask the questions. Ask what you're asking right now. What happened? How did you make it through?
Yeah. That's the stories, and to me, that's the stories that are going to encourage folks when they run up against the wall, when they run out of gas, when they're, I had to put 4 tires on all 4 corners of one of my trucks. I mean, it's like stuff happens.
Tires, Lord Jesus, we're not gonna talk about tires.
I mean,
Ooh,
I told my mechanic the other day, I'm so tired of feeding these trucks. I mean, trucks eat better than me.
yeah, yeah. They got a healthcare. They always got to maintain them. Boy,
Right, right. And you're sitting in that office. You're sitting in that office. You feel like you're in the doctor's office because you're like, well, what they gonna tell me about the patient now?
is he gonna make it, Doc? Is he
Is
gonna
he
make
gonna right? What you think, Doc? Can I squeeze another year out of it?
it?
So, but tell me about So let's end on a positive note. What's your favorite? What's your absolute favorite thing to cook, and
Oh,
why?
well, it's changed over the years. So at first it was filet mignon, right? Because I have a technique of where I was sous videing my fillets in clarified butter and
Ooh,
sear it on the plancha on the flat top. Or
nice.
so when I would always put it over Asiago potatoes. So when I put it on
Goodness.
potatoes, any of the clarified butter that would be residuals that's seeping out would actually drizzle over the potatoes, right? But you didn't need a knife.
Mm, mm, mm.
You take a spoon and cut it, right? Then, as everybody started becoming healthier, um, I started doing this spinach and artichoke stuffed uh, chicken chicken breast, right?
Oh, yeah, I saw that one on Facebook one time.
Yeah, with a white wine cream sauce. And now, put like this, when I started my health journey, because I got up to 296 pounds.
Yeah, it's too much to be walking around.
Oh boy, when I was walking up them steps, and the only reason I know how many steps is in my house because my grandsons used to count when they was trying to learn how to walk. So we had 27 steps in the house, right? Walking up 27 steps, sir, is nothing nice. with 295 pounds, and you ain't. That ain't fun. So the crazy part was I literally health was declining bad. I even got diagnosed with prostate cancer.
Bless you, man.
Lived behind me, and he was just a friend at the time. I always saw him and his wife running. I knew he owned the gym. I called him and said, bro, I know I've been BSing you around about coming to the gym. I said, I can't do it no more. I said, I need to come talk to you. So I went, I told everything. I said, bro, I got high blood pressure, cholesterol, what else? Gout. Matter of fact, the girls from 35, this is when I found out about gout. The girls from 35 had a party. I flew down to New Orleans to do it. And I couldn't walk out my hotel room.
Oh, man. You pins. Felt like it was pins in your feet, huh?
Oh, God, I didn't know what that was. Didn't know what it was, right? So they had that and did a prostate cancer, right? So I told him all this. So he brings me in the gym 9 o'clock every morning. And he put me through prison-style boot camp.
Yeah.
Not no military. I'm talking about straight up gangster boot camp, right? So 3 months went from 296 to 275.
Yeah.
All right. 6 months, 275 to 250. Then I was stuck at 250. I thank God I was stuck at 250 because it made me want to push harder to the point where I ran every morning for an hour.
Yeah, there you go.
Minutes.
There you go.
But then I changed my entire eating habits. And that's when I created, first it was pan-seared salmon with a dill sauce. Now I bought my ovens, and I bought my ovens by accident. So I went to buy all new ovens.
Convection?
And I was just cooking regular.
It's all convection ovens?
Yeah. But my wife was in the kitchen one day. She was like, ooh. No, I'm lying. It wasn't my wife. It was my daughter. My daughter was in the kitchen. She was like, ooh, I didn't know we had this. I'm like, ovens? We always had ovens. She's like, no, these got air fryers in them. I said, what? And I walked over to the oven. I looked. It was sitting right in front of my face. It said air fryer. I said, oh, no. So now everything I do is healthy. I air fry, and then it made my speed faster because in an air fryer, you ain't got to cook for about 5 minutes, and it's done.
Mm-hmm.
So my salmon now, I make different sauces that I marinate them in, and then I air fry them, and then I take a blowtorch to give it the grilled effect.
The crisp, yeah.
Yeah, but I make stuff super healthy now. I mean, and people watch the journey I went through. I'm at 226 now.
Bless you, man. That's it. Congratulations, brother.
Look, man.
Fantastic.
Rough road. But again, we take care of everything. Our house, our car. We got to start taking care of ourselves. I go to a therapist once a week.
That's important.
A healthy weight wellness coach outside of the gym once a month, where they tell me everything going on with my body. I know what my muscle mass is, my water weight is.
There you go.
I mean,
Chef, I'll tell you like this. I think everybody needs therapy, but you talking about being a business owner? Woo! Man, you better go sit on somebody's couch.
Yeah. And it's the best thing
because you're interacting with so many human beings and so many different spirits. Like you talked about that story earlier. Now I would have put my guards down too. As a pastor, you wouldn't think that you have to be litigious, and yet it's still spiritual warfare. You got bad spirits with a title of pastor too.
Yeah, you're absorbing the energy, good and bad, from everybody.
Yeah, from everybody.
People don't. When you talk about being a private chef, people think we walk into homes or businesses and stuff like that, and everything is just what you see on TV. Now, TV is TV.
Right. Yeah.
I've been in people's homes where they have been so stuck up, where they treated me like the help.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I'm never gonna be, that's another reason why I started my own business. I ain't gonna be nobody's help. Now we ain't gonna do that.
Now what? Now, so I put some. So, I don't know if it's because we from New Orleans. I don't know what it is, but you're just not gonna talk to us a certain kind. It's a certain thing. You're just not gonna talk to us like that.
No, that's the thing. And the crazy part, we can let you know very articulately.
Yeah.
I don't have to cuss.
Yeah. We'll get you off of us. We'll get you off of us.
Oh yeah.
Look, Chef. I was at a networking event and I felt like a guy was treating me like that, and I took my car back. Like I swiped my car back out of his hand.
Simple reaction, simple, and it made him second guess himself.
Yeah, he couldn't believe it.
Yeah.
Now, when I talk to my team members, they're gonna get a chuckle out of this because one thing I've realized. There's some things I should let my team handle because I get a little emotional about certain things. So there's some stuff is better to let other team members handle.
Hey, let me tell you something. My wife, thank God for her. Oh, she didn't pull some people out some fires because I cannot fault my daughters for their emotional reaction to things because I created them.
Yeah.
And I learned over the years that they're a reflection of me. So I have to look at what they do and see that I do the same stuff. My facial expressions tell you what's about to happen before it happens. So if you come off stupid to me or you try to treat me a certain way, my wife will step in and say, "Oh, babe, go get me something to drink or something," and she'll handle it. Right? Because I got to handle it. We ain't gonna be nothing.
Yeah, you might. Yeah. You might. Yeah.
Even my staff, I had these two employees. The wife got sick, so I lost them both, which was a bad.
Man.
Never want to hire a wife team.
Yeah.
But when I say they were great, I praise them. I talk to them till today, and they don't even work for me no more. But if I walk in and something's not right, they'll be the first to say, "Chef, we need such and such off the truck. You mind going and get that for us?" Just so I can keep out of the room and they can handle it.
So they could correct it. Yeah. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good system. And that's what I'm talking. So everything that we've been talking about today is really, look, you need to have systems in place for the good times and for when Mad Day happens. I mean, everything is not going to be all unicorns and rainbows and roses. So you need to have corrective action procedures in place and my brother said, his wife might come and just tap him on the shoulder and, ask him to go get some pumpernickel bread when we know he ain't got no pumpernickel bread. Right. We know that's just cold word, but you need to go chill out. But anyway. Need to go get that nickel pumpernickel special.
Yeah.
Hey man, that's all I have. What did you have any questions that you wanted to ask me or anything that you just wanted to express to the people?
Nah, man, I'll close with this. You follow your dreams. Don't worry about what others got to say, because everybody doesn't know what goes on behind the scenes. Everybody doesn't know what makes the engine run. Everybody don't care what makes the engine run. So if you do what's true to yourself, follow what you want to do in life, what makes you happy, because it has to make you happy, because you're not making money in the first beginning of this whole game, no matter what profession it is. All right? Even those who've come out of med school and worked at a hospital, you making money there, but you decide to go into private practice, you
in the hole.
Pocket. Okay? And being
they're in the hole anyway from student loans.
True. But you gotta love what you do. It gotta be something that you would do for free, and you feel like you're getting over on everybody because you're getting paid for it.
Because you're getting paid. That's it. We'll leave it at that, man. God bless you, brother. Thank you for being so honest and open as I knew you would be. The New Orleans in you, it just and the uptown in you, or the downtown. You from Seven Ward? You from downtown?
Yeah, 7-1 hard here.
Yes, indeed, man. Hey, man, God bless you. God bless your business. Like I said before, y'all get out here. Get the chef's journey. My brother this is a beautiful book. I was looking at that, man, I've used the recipes. He don't hold back. He don't do like some chefs do, be trying to hold back recipes so you can mess up your recipe, put it all in here. And he put his own story in here too. So with that, man, I say thank you, man. God bless. Appreciate you, bro.
Call me anytime, bro.
All right, my man. My man.
Let